Hi, I'm Jamie Fernando. I'm 23 years old. I study fashion design and marketing at AOD. I joined AOD in 2016, and back then I actually didn't know what to choose because we had fashion textile and fashion marketing. So and I didn't know what fashion marketing was, right? And then I attended a workshop, and then they explained the whole process of it, and then it sounded very exciting to me because it's something new, right? It's fashion marketing. And then they told us that we'll be doing photo shoots, videography and magazine making and so on. So and then after that, so when I joined it was quite challenging at first, right? Because we had to do marketing reports, but I did quite well. So my brand name is 9 Points. It's inspired by traveling and sailing in Sri Lanka, and through that I am mostly aiming to preserve local crafts and help artisans to maintain their livelihoods. So the local crafts that have been used is batik and birelu. So the fabrics are all breathable materials such as silk and cotton. So for the manufacturing process, it took about I think 3 months because I had to get the samples done and then for the final garments and for the embellishments as well. For 9 Points, the name 9 Points is inspired by 9 traveling destinations in Sri Lanka. So then the names, just destinations I have chose. So for my garments and my promotional items, all these elements and prints, they are all taken from these traveling destinations. Those key elements I have taken. So taking part in reveal is quite exciting because I've been looking forward for this opportunity since 2016, since I joined AOD, right? So now when my stuff are on that particular space, I feel quite excited because people will be coming in, and then I'll be able to showcase it to those who are coming to the industry especially. So I'm quite excited about it and a bit nervous.
Hi, I'm Hafia Maulana. I'm 20 years old and I'm doing fashion design and marketing at AOD, and I'm really excited to take part at Reveal. So basically I wanted to major in fashion design and marketing for the sole reason of having branding in it, because I'm really into graphic design and branding and that part, and like having a story behind a concept and a brand. So I wanted to do fashion design and marketing. So I also started doing with foundation. So it's been 4 years, I guess, from 2016. So yeah, that's the reason. And the things I've learned from AOD is probably constructive criticism. So how I can take constructive criticism, and I think that's a really huge part in design. So if you can take constructive criticism, that would be really good. It allows you to grow as a person and as a designer as well. So my collection is called Min Dreams. It was basically inspired by myself. And how people have different versions of themselves, and it's more like a game and avatar, and how you can choose each version every day. It's about self-expressionism and things like that. So yeah, and it has a lot of colors, illustrations, and I was really inspired by artists like Salvador Dali and surrealism and things like that. I'm really excited to be a part of Reveal because finally you get the recognition for the work you have done for the past 4 years, I guess. So I'm really excited and also nervous, and I'm also really happy to get into the industry after all this work. So.
Hi, my name is Shahani Gunavijaya. I'm 23 years old and I'm a fashion design and textile student at AOD. I joined AOD in 2017. It has been a really big journey since that. I discovered what kind of a designer I am, my personal style, and my interests in terms of fashion. I mean, fashion is such a vast subject. And like when I started out, I wanted to be a couture designer, but throughout this journey I have changed, like I said, myself as a designer, and I have been where my interest lies in design has changed. At the moment, this whole journey has led me into interest not just in clothing but also in jewelry and as well as other accessories. So my collection is inspired by feminism and the impact that it had on fashion. So feminism is all about equal rights and opportunities. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a feminine element and a masculine element and amalgamate that to kind of portray the modern femme, as I call it. So the collection is named The Modern Femme and the name of the brand is Satya Ch. So what I did was I took Jacqueline Kennedy as my feminine muse, and I looked into the fashion. I looked into most of her outfits and what she wore from that time. And because she had this really feminine, but she was very elegant, and I think she is a perfect role model. As well as in terms of the masculine element, I took armor and chainmail, which is very masculine when you think about it at first. So what I wanted to was to make it more practical and wearable. I was inspired by the silhouettes and the monochromatic look that Jacqueline Kennedy portrayed, and then in terms of detailing, I took chainmail and armor, so I used a lot of little metal elements and details in my collection.
Hi, my name is Satya Karnaratna. My brand is Surumpo. I started AOD in 2016. I did foundation here, and then afterwards it was a big journey from how I was actually confused between interior designing and fashion. Then one of my lecturers spoke to me and they definitely told me I need to do fashion designing. My prints were inspired from tarot cards, which is you can find your future, past, present from those cards. So in Sri Lanka, when you think about it, it's more like how our parents go and find about horoscopes. So that's what I wanted to show. So each of my garments have meaning. So I got inspired from the silhouette. One silhouette is from the Justice Lady, and then one is from the Chariot, and then one is from the Lovers. So there are so many cards, different cards. So I actually went to a person and then got my cards inspired. I chose some cards for myself, and then I made my garments in my prints actually. So my prints were done in batik, and the fabric I used was silk, and the silk it was a bit hard for me to use this get the silk due to the corona and all. But however I got it, and then I did some hand embroidery to show some details of it. And my silhouettes were inspired from Balenciaga's balloon dress, so I could show some volumes in different areas of my garments, especially from the sleeves to the ball gowns, but not especially ball gowns, but it's oversized. When I think about designing, I think I'm mainly focused on textiles, so prints, that's the main thing I'm focused on. I'm actually excited that reveal is happening after so many situations that's happening around the world here, with all the protocols around, and it's exciting plus nervous because we'll be out of AOD and then we'll have to go and find our own jobs and we'll be out, right? So it's just a bit nervous but a bit exciting too.
Hi, Umanga here. I actually graduated from AOD back in 2016, and it's been a journey since then. Immediately after I graduated, I actually joined Amaze, and currently I'm working as a swimwear designer at Amaze Aqua.
Hello, I'm Amish Vijaysekara from Sri Lanka, and I am a fashion and textile designer. So for 2021 Sri Lanka Design Festival, I will be presenting the incredible lineup of designers from all the industries.
I decided to launch my own brand, Dialog, which I currently retail at Urban Island.
Talking about myself, I have a brand which I launched in Berlin 2 years ago, and my work involves around community, craft, creativity and collaboration based from Sri Lanka.
I instantly fell in love with the community of artisans that I met during a college tour. So we actually visited Ududumbara, and that's where I met the artisans that I currently work with for my brand.
For SLDF 2021, it's all about impact, and I think across the board, all the designers will be talking about what is their contribution to society and the culture and community in terms of their work and their practice with the crafts.
So how I am part of this segment is I'll be doing a brand video introducing the community and the artisans I work with, and how we came about the brand and like the products and the ethical story behind it, because handloom is a textile technique which requires no automation or any electricity. So the impact on the environment is very limited.
So for me, 2021, it's all about innovation and finding solutions, and also how we can make a positive impact, not just locally, but also globally. And I think that is the key message for 2021, I think.
So with my brand, I will be helping the artisans to grow as well and help them understand the contemporary trends and market needs as well.
Put your money on the backseat. Don't give a hell paparazzi, baby. You know they always trying to get me. $1 million looking icy. I can make it rain on you. I can make your dreams come true. But let me get this straight, don't ever need no man to tell me what to do.
I'm Hash Bandara, a creative entrepreneur and an artist. I'm also the co-founder of King's Coconut Design Studio. I'm quite excited to be a part of Sri Lanka Design Festival's featured artist this year, because I speak about my first venture, Push Skateboards, where we created a skateboarding culture in Sri Lanka, and also what I do at King's Co, the design studio. I speak about how to use creativity as a tool to inspire people and to make change in the world. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Ramaya. I'm 22 years old and I started AOD in 2017, and I'm glad to be a part of the graduating batch of the Visual Communication department this year. Back in school, I never knew what I really wanted to do after I left, but something I always enjoyed doing was creating for the people around me and making cards and just doing illustrations for them. And when the name AOD came up, I thought, you know what, maybe I should join the graphics department and see where that takes me. And I'm so happy to say that I have finally found my passion here, and I've met so many great people here, from my classmates and the tutors. And I think I've actually found what I really want to do through design, and I'm glad that I joined AOD for that purpose. My goal is to create meaningful design and create an impact within the communities here in Sri Lanka. So for my final major project, I have chosen to tackle the issue of sexual abuse and harassment in sports. So I was an athlete back in school, and I grew up in a sports environment. So I felt it was really important for me to talk about this issue. My goal is to create a safer sports environment for the young athletes in Sri Lanka and be the creative voice for those who need that voice to address these issues here in Sri Lanka.
Hi, my name is Trishan and I'm an AOD student. I've studied at AOD for 3 years. I've studied motion graphics and animation design. So when I first found out about the motion graphics and animation design degree at AOD, I was very intrigued in it because I had only been slightly familiar with the concept of animation, and I had been doing illustrations and other drawings before that, and I felt that this was one way that I could branch out into different aspects of the design industry. So over the 3 years I found out that my passion is mostly towards 2D animation and 2D related work. But beyond anything, I feel that finding more people who are into the same thing that you are is more important, or at least just as important. And I think I'm very grateful for AOD for that, or at least for my degree. So my project is a 2D animation that revolves around the relationship between a grandson and his grandfather and their shared love for fishing. So what I wanted to tackle with this project was childhood trauma and how children deal with grief, because I feel that mental health in our Sri Lankan society, Sri Lankan culture is very is not talked about as much as it should be. And I think that's why by default a majority of our projects this year have revolved around this, because it is quite important, and that is why I chose to move with that direction.
Hi, my name is Charlene and I'm an interior design graduate from AOD. I just finished all 3 years at AOD, and being here at AOD has helped me learn a lot. We've given exposure to a lot of different types of projects to do, and I've also been able to help design and lay out the floors for Reveal itself for the design exhibition. And we've also been able to construct and come up with booths for virtual exhibitions that are also being held. So my final major project is based on journalism and corruption. It's similar to like a safe haven for today's journalists who are actually going through a downfall after the civil war that has been happening. And the concept for the project is based on a true life story of a renowned journalist from Sri Lanka. His name was Mr. Lasantha Wickramatunge. Who was assassinated due to several threats that journalism faced. So after conducting a few interviews and surveys among the local journalists, I gathered information as to what they need actually, so that journalism can fight against corruption and Sri Lanka could be 100% transparent. So that is the project concept. So there's an auditorium and high security measures. They also have academic resources like libraries, computer and media rooms, etc. So journalists who are working now and also even students, they can come there to improve and build Sri Lankan journalism up again.
Hi, I'm Sweeney. I'm a final year graduate from AOD from the Interiors Department. my life in AOD has been really great because design is something that's really updated at a fast pace, and I've learned a lot and acquired a lot from AOD. AOD gives a lot of opportunities for young creative individuals like us. I would like to share one of my experiences with AOD. Last year in my second year, that was of study, I was given the opportunity to take part in a Chinese competition, which was a furniture design competition in Dong, China. And I was selected as the best commercial furniture designer. And that gave me a lot of exposure when it comes to the real life and real life design. For this year's reveal, I will be showcasing my final major project, which was the AYA Center. AYA is a project based on sexual harassment against women in Sri Lanka. After a lot of sources gathered from primary and secondary research, I developed a concept and developed it into a spatial concept and designed a rehabilitation center where victims could meet up and share their stories and move on. This also helps the general public to have a different perspective into this problem. And I believe that design is one of the biggest tools in the world where you can use to change the perspective of people.